we're gonna make bath bombs, and I'm so excited. So you have your DIY kit, all the ingredients out of your box, and the instruction card. Super handy. So we're gonna follow along with the instructions. So first things, you're gonna take your dry ingredient mix, open it up, and you're gonna add it into a non-metal bowl, the entire thing. Next, I have some hot water that I already made and a bowl, but you can do this over the stove, or you could place the coconut oil in your microwave. Any of those methods will work. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of hot water in here. Take off the lid to your coconut oil here, and you're just gonna place it directly into the hot water. Might need to add a little bit more, just so that it will melt. The little glass jar is so cute and reusable. So when you're done using it, dumping it in here, you could make like a salve in there, or take your salad dressing with you somewhere if you're having a salad. So you're gonna wait until the coconut oil is melted. Okay, if you need to help get it melted, you could take a little spoon and just kind of stir it a little bit. Now that your coconut oil is completely melted, you're gonna add in your essential oils directly in with it. So we have a recommended recipe here, but you're welcome to use any recipe that you want. We recommend about 35 to 40 drops on here, and it tells you on the other side exactly how many, so you can play around with it, but I'm gonna follow along the recipe that I tried and love. So we're gonna do 20 drops of lavender, and just be careful, the jar might still be a little bit warm, so just hold it at the very top. Doing 5 drops of pine. $10 drops of orange. And 5 drops of cedar wood. So okay, so now that you have your coconut oil, essential oils, and all the dry mixture in here, you're actually just gonna take your hands and mix it in. Feels actually really nice. You're just gonna kind of squeeze it and get all the clumps out, and mix and mix and mix. Okay, so you wanna squeeze out any clumps that are in there as you're going, and you'll start to see it starts to clump together. So you want it to look like it does in the picture, so that when you squeeze it, it keeps its shape, and that's when you know that it's ready to be put in the mold. So you have your rainbow mold here. You're gonna take some of it and just pack it down in there. So push it down really hard as you're going to pack it really nice and firm. And if you want to put a crystal in, you would do about halfway and then get a crystal. So we have rose quartz or amethyst. Rose quartz is great for self-love, or love of any kind, so for self-love. You're gonna take it and just put it in the middle of the mold. You can kind of make a little hole if it's sticking out a little bit too much. And then you're gonna take more of the mixture and just pack it right on top of the crystal. And you're gonna brush away like any excess that's on the outside while you're packing it down. Make it nice and tight. So now it's ready to take. I have a baking pan with parchment paper here, and you just are gonna flip it over and just push gently on the outside, and it comes right out. And this is where you're gonna let them sit overnight for them to dry, and then tomorrow morning they'll be ready to use. If you don't have overnight, you could just wait a few hours. I would say once you'll know they're ready, because when you go to pick it up, it stays nice and firm and strong. So a few hours would be fine too, but I try to do it overnight if I have the time. So if you wanted to put in some dried flowers, this is calendula, which is really good for skin. You can take some out of your jar, and you're gonna put it in actually at the bottom of the mold before you put in any of the mixture, the bath bomb mixture. And just know that if you do this, you're not gonna see the rainbow imprint on there, but instead you get beautiful dried flowers. So if you have a little clump like this, you're just gonna take off the petals and just sprinkle them along the bottom, just like this. Then you would take your mixture and put it in just as you did before. Pack it down nice and tight. Add a little more and repeat. And brush off any of the extra until it's even with the edges. And again, you're gonna flip it over and push gently to release, and you see you have beautiful flowers on there. So you can do any combination that you want. You can do flowers and the crystal, you can do one or the other, you can do none. It's 100% up to you. You also have amethyst crystals, which are the purple ones, and amethyst are great for confidence, communication. They're just a really good overall stone, and they're beautiful in purple, so a lot of people are drawn to them. So I would say you can use a combination or whichever one you're drawn to, or if you're giving these as gifts, rose quartz and amethyst are both just really good stones for overall, and a lot of people are familiar with them if they're new to crystals, so they're great for like giving gifts. So you just repeat this over and over and over until you're all done. Troubleshooting tips if you're having a hard time with them coming out of the mold fully is make sure that your mold is really clean, and get your nail and kind of rub it through these little inner lines to make sure that it's nice and clear so that the rainbow comes through really nice and neat. Another tip is especially if when you're stirring your coconut oil a little bit falls out of the jar, your mixture might not be quite wet enough. So you could grab any other kind of carrier oil that you have at home. If it's coconut oil, you could just melt a tiny bit more and just add it in a little bit, because you do want it to be where it clumps pretty easily and feels slightly like damp almost. So if you're having trouble with that, I would just add a little bit more oil. You could even use olive oil if you have that at home. Just add a tiny bit more into your mixture and mix it together and just play around with that a little bit. And if you're having trouble again with the crystal staying in, or it's breaking in half when you're adding in the crystal, just add a layer that's a little bit thinner when you're first doing it. So that way the crystal, it might need a bigger space to be able to attach to the rest of the bath bomb mixture. And if you're having any more trouble, please reach out to us. Our email address is on the instruction card, and we're happy to help you troubleshoot.